You were never told the truth about your power, not by your teachers, not by your leaders, not by the world that profits from your weakness. Because if a man knew what lived inside his seed, he would stop wasting it. He would stop spilling it for pleasure. He would stop trading his kingdom for a moment of illusion. Your semen is not just fluid, it is your legacy. It is the condensation of your soul into the physical world. It is spirit becoming matter, power becoming potential, the masculine dream incarnate. Every drop holds the blueprint of life, not just to create children, but to create kingdoms, to build empires, to fuel the fire of purpose that makes a man unbreakable. When you spill it carelessly, you are not just losing a liquid, you are losing memory, you are losing clarity, you are losing the divine spark that separates the king from the clown. Retention is not abstinence, it is reverence. It is sacrifice of the lower for the sake of the higher. It is restraint not out of fear, but out of vision. Because when you keep your seed, you keep your focus, your drive sharpens like a blade, your presence becomes magnetic, your body becomes a temple of fire, and women feel it, even if they don't understand it. There's something ancient in the eyes of a man who doesn't chase. He walks like he has purpose, speaks like his words are chosen by the gods, moves like his time is sacred, because it is. Your essence is your creative currency, it is your inner gold, and like gold, it is mined through discipline, through struggle, through inner war. Every careless release is a theft, a robbery of your future self, a betrayal of the king you are meant to become. Why do you think monks abstain, warriors fast, mystics withdraw? Because they know the body is an altar, and your seed is the offering to the higher self, to the divine masculine within. You are leaking your ambition with every indulgence. You are draining your edge, your intensity, your masculine charge. And in that draining, you become tame, domesticated, forgettable. But when you retain, you become unforgettable. You develop a glow no filter can replicate, a tension in your gaze that pierces armor, a presence that doesn't ask for attention, it commands it. This power is hidden in your biology, but it is awakened by your choice to say no to weakness, to say yes to your greatness, to choose long-term evolution over short-term stimulation. Because every time you deny lust, you invite God. You take that fire and forge it into will, into art, into conquest, into mastery. And that's the real alchemy, not turning lead into gold, but turning restraint into strength, into vision, into a kingdom no man can shake. You were born for this, but no one told you. They told you to relieve yourself, to relax, to treat your lust like an itch, to scratch it with pixels and moans and fantasies, until your soul forgets what it's made of. But deep down, you know something is wrong. You feel the void after the release, the emptiness that follows pleasure, that quiet voice that whispers, "This is not it. This is not your throne. This is not your final form. Your sacred force is not waste. It is wealth. It is war paint. It is divine fire wrapped in flesh." The men before us knew this truth. They built pyramids, carved temples from mountains, went to war with no armor but their will, and they didn't waste their essence on shadows. They reserved it for their purpose, for their mission, for the woman who earned the right to receive it. You were told that discipline is repression, but discipline is freedom. It is clarity. It is power tempered by fire. It is the sword you draw against your lower self. The bridge between your primal urges and your divine potential. Your creative force is your life force. It is not meant to be poured into pixels or drained in shame behind closed doors. It is meant to rise, to ascend your spine, to awaken your mind, to illuminate your spirit. This is why the ancients spoke of energy rising through the chakras, why warriors could feel their strength increasing the longer they withheld, why artists produced their best work in silence, in solitude, in suffering, Because your power is refined in restraint, sharpened in stillness, multiplied in meditation, and unleashed in moments of sacred action. You weren't born to be a slave to cravings, you were born to master them, to ride the beast within, to make it bow to your vision, to make it fuel your climb. Instead of pulling you into the pit, the world will mock you for holding it in, call you strange, say you're missing out. But they are missing themselves, they are scattered, confused. Weakened by indulgence they mistake for freedom. Meanwhile, you are building something invisible, something solid beneath your skin, a reservoir of strength, a fire in your gut, a crown they can't see but feel when you enter the room. You don't need to speak it, you radiate it. The power of a man who knows how to hold, how to wait, how to channel. And this is the key: to channel, not to suppress, to sublimate, not to escape, to rise above, not to run from. Take your urges and transform them into legacy, into iron will, into unwavering focus, into devotion to your craft, into fire that burns in your eyes. When you speak your truth, every urge is a test, a moment where the beast knocks on your door, asking, will you serve me or rule me? And every time you say no, you say yes to your future, yes to greatness, yes to God. Women sense it, not because you say it, but because your energy is different. Your eyes are deeper, your spine straighter, your silence more commanding than 1,000 words. You begin to attract, not chase, to lead, not plead, to walk away when needed. Because you are already full, you don't need to take, you overflow. The weak man needs attention to feel alive, but the strong man creates his own voltage, his own gravity. And in doing so, the world begins to orbit around him. This is what kings knew. This is what warriors practiced, what mystics guarded, what modern man has forgotten. You are not just flesh, you are fire wrapped in skin. You are discipline made visible. You are the storm that bends to no wind, the mountain unmoved by pleasure's whisper. You are not meant to be ruled by desire. You are meant to rule it, to direct it like a river, carving through mountains, feeding valleys, shaping the land of your legacy. Every time you withhold, you ascend, not because withholding is holy, but because it sharpens your soul, because it reminds you that you are more than animal. You are architect, you are builder, you are God in training. The modern world has taught you to be soft, to be numb, to seek comfort in screens and swipes and empty highs. But the truth is this: you were made for pain, for pressure, for silence, for greatness. And that greatness does not come from indulgence. It is born in the fire of refusal, in the cold mornings when you rise, in the lonely nights you build, in the quiet war where you say, not today, not today, weakness, not today, pleasure, not today, distraction. Today I build, today I rise, today I remember who I am. Your power is not in what you take, it's in what you keep, what you channel, what you give back to the world, sharpened and sacred. You are not here to be drained, you are here to overflow, to light fires in others, to leave behind not just a name, but a legacy of strength, a silence that speaks louder than noise, a gaze that says, I know who I am. And it all begins with what you hold, with what you honor, with the choice to rise instead of release. This is your hidden power, and the world is starving for it, for men who remember, for men who carry it and never give it away for free. You've been asleep, but now you wake, not with noise, but with stillness, not with fury, but with fire, not with pleasure, but with presence. Your journey begins in silence, in the private rebellion against weakness, in the unseen moments no one claps for, when you say no to the world, and yes to the man in the mirror, the one who carves identity with choices, who creates greatness not with luck, but with will. It sharpens your voice, deepens your gaze, hardens your discipline, softens your arrogance. and lifts your spine like you were born to carry a crown. And you don't need another video. You don't need motivation. You need remembrance. You need solitude. You need the hunger that comes when you stop feeding the beast. The hunger that births vision. That gives you the clarity to walk alone, the strength to cut away the false, and the courage to say, I will become who I was born to be. Do you feel it? That ache behind your ribs, that quiet roar beneath your breath. That is not anxiety. That is your soul trying to wake you up. You were not made to be tamed. You were not made to be light. You were not made to be consumed by digital lust. You were made to build altars with your name etched in stone. To speak words that ripple through generations. To look your children in the eye and say, I conquered myself. And they'll feel it. They'll feel the discipline in your handshake, the fire in your silence. The unspoken confidence of a man who held his power, who mastered the storm instead of drowning in it. Because the seed is not just biological, it is symbolic. It is the hidden kingdom within you, the invisible crown that only you can earn. Every time you hold it, transmute it, honor it, you rise, not above others, but above the weaker version of you, the one who begged, the one who scrolled, the one who gave everything away for nothing, no more. From this day forward, you protect your force like treasure. You treat your urges as sacred signals. You build when others waste. You glow when others fade. You stop chasing women and start attracting the divine feminine by embodying the sacred masculine. You stop watching other men rise and begin your own ascent, brick by brick, breath by breath, choice by choice. The kings of old were not born with crowns. They earned them. And their first victory was always within. Now it's your turn. To hold the fire, to master the flame, to become the storm. You are not powerless, you've simply been distracted, taught to forget. But now you remember, the source is in you, the power is in you, and your time is now. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the True Avalon YouTube channel to support our work.